I'm Sac Marionette, doing business as Bargain Counter Arguments, and today is Flip Through Friday. Last week I did a flip through of a bulb catalog from Van Engelen, and I was talking about how even though it was the 2026 price list and catalog, it was made to look kind of on the vintage side, and I thought that was pretty cool. Well, today I have another catalog that is a reproduction of an actual vintage catalog, and once more, this is from Dover Publications, and it is the Bloomingdale's Illustrated 1886 catalog. I need the bright light so that you can see the pages once I open it, but of course it's kind of shiny off of the glossy cover, and like I said, it is Dover Publications.com. And I don't know when they did this. I do know that it was done. Here's a list of the different kinds of titles they offer. You want to take a look? I just love Dover books so much. And this is the Bloomingdale's Illustrated 1886 catalog. And they had just moved into a new building at the time. And apparently this is when they first started doing mail order. Now at the time, according to this introduction by Nancy Villa Brick, they were actually kind of at that time, right up until many, many decades later, after World War II, was kind of when they went a little more upscale. At the time that they published this catalog, they were kind of more for working class and the rising middle class people. This book in particular was published in association with the Henry Ford Museum and Green Village in Dearborn. And because people living in places like Dearborn and in the working in the newly industrialized Midwest and upper Midwest, Rust Belt we call it now, would have been ordering books from this very catalog. And I just feel like I love paging through these, and I think if I were inclined to write an historical novel or romance, I would probably find inspiration on every single page here. And certainly I think you could put together some really nice decoupage products with photocopies from here. I think the introduction said that it's something like 46 departments that they have here. And this is the index to advertisers, which is just like the specific merchants whose products are offering. This is telling you how to measure. And then here we have the fashions, including, let's see if I can get this into frame without mangling it too much. We have a wedding dress even. But look at those. You can see that we're in the bustle era. We're leaving crinolines behind. Bustles, I think, had been around for about 10 years as fashion items. This is kind of tricky. I don't have a big enough field, but wouldn't you love to read a series of novels or novellas about each one of these ladies finding love? I'm sure we'll come to the gentleman before too long. Let's see. I'm not sure how much of this is available online because, this is public domain. It was a catalog from, 140 years ago. So you could probably find a lot of these images online, but it's kind of nice to get inspiration from a book that you can flip through. And so, oh, she is so stylish. A lot of these dresses I wouldn't mind wearing today. Children's suits. How many of these kids got beaten up in recess? Okay. I'm trying to get as much of the page as possible, and accessories, and ooh la la, ladies' underwear. Oh my goodness. I hope that the young men of the household were not perusing this with scandalous intent. Bridal sets. Oh, here's where we're getting into the hardcore. Shapewear. The Spanx of its generation. Back to kids, and it looks like oh, infants. Ooh. I don't know where the menswear is. So far, it's all women and children. Where are the children coming from? Where are the men? This is all different kinds of lace and that you can get. Because another thing, you could order elements of fashion from this and then make your own. Because a lot of people sewed their own clothes back then. Fair number due today. It's kind of coming back. Okay, here's some hosiery. Ladies. Oh my. I'm getting, gloves. Getting retroactive embarrassment. This is so delicate. Okay, well now we have some suspenders and nightshirts and collars. There's like no men. Oh, and hairbrushes and notions and shaving brushes. Who's using them? Needle cases. Ah, the shoes. Oh, I am a shoe person. I love shoes. They're just such a sculptural element. Ah, gentlemen's shoes. These gentlemen. Oh my goodness. That is quite the array of cutlery and silverware. And more lace. So you can see that there's all kinds of cool things you could do with this. You know, I think back in the day, you've probably seen this in movies or television shows or read about it in books or photographs. People used to actually wallpaper when especially on the frontier, when they didn't have access to a lot of dry goods and it really wasn't worth it to buy it. They would wallpaper their houses with images from newspapers, and I imagine probably catalogs too, as those got to be more available. Because I mean, these are pretty. I wouldn't mind framing some of these, and oops, just jostled the camera. I wouldn't mind framing some of these images and using them, you know, in my closet or boudoir. Ooh, and here we have all of the, what do they call this? Flowers, tips, and millinery trimmings. Ooh. And we have fans. Okay, we have male children. Here we go. We have some adult men, or are these, I guess these are supposed to be like more youths. Okay, now we're getting into the adult men. Look at those mustaches. Ooh, very stylish. Yes, yes. So these, I wonder why they're so far back in the catalog. You know, you go into a department store and a lot of times they'll have the menswear like up front because they know women will put more effort into shopping and men just want to grab the first thing they see. Oh, baby carriage. It's interesting though that they had women's, children's, and then finally men's. And see, here's where you can get upholstery fringes, getting into like the housewares. Appliques. I think this is like kind of, I might photocopy some of these and use them for something. But a lot of it is just kind of inspiration and just enjoying looking at the dry goods of the past. Yeah, more and more housewares. Musical instruments. You can actually get a guitar and stuff. Accordion. All kinds of gadgets. A lot of this would have been fairly state-of-the-art for the time. The pipes. Better than spitting, which I did a lot of back then too. Combs and hair ornaments. Here's the rubber and ivory jewelry. Oh yeah, rubber was just really, really the coming thing. Finally figuring out how to really use it in consumer goods. I thought there might be more furniture, but it's more furnishings. All the latest thimbles. It's your brand new 1886 season thimbles and some rings. Watches, yeah. I do like a good watch. Pins. Pens. Stylographic and gold pens, pencils, and charms. Nice. And here we're getting into some more stuff for your dressing table and for travel. And albums and frames. As photography is becoming more accessible by the year here. And some it's a revolving blackboard. I had a teacher in college who was so absent-minded that he filled the blackboard on both sides in order to get ready for class. And then, of course, when he flipped it over in the middle of his lecture, it was all upside down. So they had to physically rotate the whole thing. Okay. Oh, firearms. Oh my goodness. Dolls? Yeah, I don't know. They're not my kind of dolls. They don't look very cuddly, or she doesn't look very cuddly. But yeah, we have firearms, and we have the kinds of skates you attach to the outsides of your shoes, and the book department. This is, of course, very interesting to me, where you can get the red line edition of the poets, the standard works, Washington Irving, 8 volumes of George Eliot for $4, and is that 59 or 39 cents? Okay, more corsets. This is kind of like, these are the advertisers. Oh, salad dressing and cold meat sauce. Oh, that's what you get for your cold collations. So the advertising is always fun. When I was writing papers when I was studying history at the undergraduate and graduate level, whenever I'd go to do research into newspapers, I'd always get very distracted by the ads, even when I was writing about like politics or whatever. I'd be like, oh, the ads. Oh, our trademark, hams. I don't know why that's in quotes. And boneless bacon. The pivot corset. Oh my gosh. They have a new tissue paper flower. Gas stoves for the Consolidated Gas Company. They hadn't yet come up with the slogan, "You're cooking with gas." And then the shipping. United States Express Company from New York City. Wow. Quickest time, lowest rates, safe transportation. I bet my ancestors living out in California would have used that sometimes. So that was the Bloomingdale's Illustrated catalog, and thank you for joining me for another flip through of a Dover publication. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I hope you have a good day or night.